Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. This is Terry, and you're listening to Tuesday with Terry. It's Tuesday, yes, indeedy. And we're right here talking to you live from Austin, Texas, Central Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are free when you hang out with me. That's right. That's fun. Hey, this morning, I wanted to share with you just a thought, 10 quick ideas here. Have you ever been discouraged? Have things ever not working out for you like you thought they should? Have you ever had a bad day? Have you ever had an argument with your wife or with a friend, or a disagreement at work, and you got a little bit tension going on, and you start questioning yourself whether or not this is right for you? Is this the right relationship? Is this the right career? Is this the right job? Oh, is this the right city? Am I living in the right city? And so what you start doing is you start getting down a little bit on yourself. But I want to give you 10 tips this morning when you do feel discouraged, maybe some things that you can do and you can use to pick yourself up a little bit, right? And so number one is the secret to getting ahead in life is getting started today. And I say that as number one because, a lot of times when you get down or you go through divorce or you go through different things, people say, well, you need to spend a little bit more time on yourself, right? That's what you need to do. And you say, well, yeah. And you know that, but a lot of times we procrastinate on things, right? You procrastinate on jobs around the house. You procrastinate on, getting the license tags and register of your car, and you procrastinate on paying your bills, and you procrastinate on a lot of different things, right? But the secret to feeling better about life, the secret to feeling better about yourself, the secret to building self-esteem is to get started and do something today, my friend. Today. I just did my first workout. I go through these spurts, right? Orange Theory Fitness. And I go through spurts where I get tired of going to the studio and working out. And it's hard for me to kind of stay focused on my workouts. And I start looking at, is the studio clean? Are the treadmills working? Is the staff doing what they're supposed to be doing? Is the coach good coach? Blah, blah, blah. And so a lot of times I'll stay away from Orange Theory Fitness. But man, I tell you, I went back, I did the Inferno workout on Wednesday morning. And I'll tell you, this body was burning up. I'll tell you how inferno this was. I won the award for the red alert. I got most minutes in the red zone of anybody else in that class. And so that tells me I need to get back in working out. But you know what I did? I got so excited about the workout and my calories that I did another workout on Thursday, and I did another workout the day after that. So I had 3 days in a row right there, man. It was pretty exciting. Anyway, number one, you're not feeling good? Do something for yourself, but you got to start it today. Number two is you got to break things down into manageable pieces. Sometimes we get overwhelmed and we get discouraged and we say the words, I can't, and it's impossible, and this will never work. And it's just if we feel the burden and we feel the weight and our shoulders begin to curl forward and it closes off our lung capacity and we're not breathing and we're not getting the oxygen up to the brain, and all of a sudden everything begins to slow down until it stops. You've got to break this down into manageable, bite-sized pieces. Take a blank sheet of paper out, white sheeted is what I call it. And at the top of that sheet of paper, what is it that you want to accomplish? And then underneath that, what's the first thing you need to do? What's the second thing you need to do? What's the third thing you need to do? You can be more productive in a half a day or even in a couple hours than you normally are in full days of work when you don't do that. Don't focus on anything except what is the first thing that has to be done, or whatever one you're on. If you're on the 4th item or you're on the 10th item, it doesn't matter. Just don't look ahead. Don't look at the 165 items on the list. Look at number 4. All I got to do is number 4. All you got to do is put one foot in front of the other one to climb the high mountain. Number 3, got to get a positive mindset, right? And you got to ask yourself, by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but some studies are out recently that show that people that are positive actually are 31% smarter when they are actually in a positive mindset. Now, when I'm talking about being positive, you probably heard me say this before, but I'll tell it again because it's a good one. I'm not talking about the little boy that comes home from dad and said, "Dad, I'm afraid I failed my math test." And the father said, "Son, that's negative. You need to be more positive." And the son says to his dad, "Dad, I'm positive I failed my math test." I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being a positive mindset. And I'll give you an example. If you can just imagine for one moment, putting your fist on your hips like Superman, taking a deep breath in and bowing your chest up a little bit, right? And then looking over your left shoulder up at 45-degree angle and looking up at the sky, and hold that pose for 1 minute. Studies have shown that you can improve your positivity, you can improve your mental attitude by holding the Superman pose. Some deep breaths. You can improve your positivity in 1 minute. Don't believe me? Give it a try. I dare you. Superman. Number 4, gratitude. You've heard me talk about this a lot, but the attitude of gratitude is be appreciative and be thankful. Stop thinking about what you don't have and be thankful for what you do have. And I'm telling you, get off that damn social media. Every time you're scrolling through social media, you're looking at somebody else's life, somebody else's food, somebody else's boat, somebody else's house, somebody else's vacation, somebody else's clothes, somebody else's boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, whatever. It doesn't matter. But you're always you're starting to put yourself into, I wish I had, I wish I did, I wish I could. And you begin to get envious. And that's not a positive mindset. That's not where you want to be. Instead of doing that, put the damn phone down, take out a blank sheet of paper and say, what are all the things that I have in my life right now? I have a beautiful daughter. She's 28 years old. She's a veterinarian. I love her. She's a woman of my life. She's successful. She just bought a house. Man, that's one thing I want to write down. I have my mom. My dad passed away about 1.5 years ago, but my mom is 88 years old and she's in an assisted living, but I call her every Sunday and I'm glad my mom is still around. And by the way, if you haven't called your mom or your dad in a while, please do it. You'll be thankful when they're gone that you call them today, that you call them this week. Take advantage of that. I can walk, I can talk, I can hear, I can see. There's so many things you can be thankful for. It doesn't have to be, oh, I have the biggest house on the block. I have the best, fastest car. It doesn't have to be that I'm making the most amount of money. It doesn't have to be that. You can find things that you're thankful for, the simple things in life. You don't have to be rich in money. You have to be rich in gratitude. Number 5, stop beating yourself up, will you? Will you just stop beating yourself up? I mean, sometimes you just keep hitting it. And there's, I don't know, was it Casey Kasem that said the hits just keep on coming? Come on now, get out of that world, man. You got to get out of that world. Stop beating yourself up. Nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. 50% of the decisions I make are bad decisions. 50% of the decisions I make are good. But listen, I go as far as I can go. I go as far as I can see. And then when I get there, I go a little further. Stop beating yourself up. Come on, man. Give yourself a break. You want somebody else to give you a break. You want your boss to give you a break. You want your spouse to give you a break. You want your family to give you a break. I got an idea for you. How about giving yourself a break? Give yourself a break. Stop beating yourself up. Number 6, be constructive. Remember what I said. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Be constructive. What did you just learn? How many times did Edison try to build the light bulb? And how many times did he fail? And every single time he failed, he just said, I figured out another way that it didn't work, but he never stopped. He never quit. Number 7, you need to trim your to-do list. You need to do less and then obsess, right? There's a book out there called Good at Work, and that's the underlying principle of that book. Do less, then obsess. But you need to trim your to-do list. If you've got a laundry list, a to-do list, you look at the list and you go, hell's bells, it's too big, I'll start it tomorrow. Procrastination is the greatest time-saving device on the planet. Stop procrastinating, but start saying, I can do these 2 things today. I can do these 3 things today. Rome wasn't built in a week. You can't get it all done. It never gets done as quick as you want, and it usually costs you more than you thought. But trim your to-do list. Do less and obsess. Number 8, let go of those goals that are paralyzing you, right? You got something that's paralyzing you. You want to do it, 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 want to do it. You want to do it, want to do it, want to do it, gonna do it, hope to do it, when it gonna do it. Yep, it's gonna, but never happens. It's paralyzing you. It's on there. Get it off your list. Come back to it 3 months later, come back to it 6 months later, but get it off of there. It's paralyzing you, right? You've got to think about when you've got things that are paralyzing you, it usually means it's too overwhelming for you. You got to go back to number 2 that I talked about earlier. Break it down into a manageable part if it becomes that, or get it off your list and come back and visit it another time. Just say, you know what? I wanted to do that. It didn't happen like I want. I've been trying to write a book for 2 years, Hell's Bells, right? Started off, I could tell you 100 stories about it. Hasn't happened, right? Just hasn't happened. So I got to take some of my own advice here, but I'm just letting you know that's one of the goals for me personally. It's a little paralyzing. Number 9. One of the good things that you can always do, this goes partly with gratitude, but take a look back, and all of us at some point, something has been successful in your life, and take a look at how far you've come. And what have you learned along the way, right? Somewhere, sometime, you have had some success or some wins in your life. Capitalize on those. If it was in high school, if it was in elementary school, if it was a play, if it was memorizing something, if you got, if you told a joke and people thought it was funny, those are small successes. But I'm just saying, number 9 is to reflect on when you make a list and say, when have I had success in my life? When have I had some wins in my life? When were you the happiest in your life? When were things going really well for you in your life and what was going on? Write them down. Keep it in a folder, put it in a push pin and put it up on the wall so that when you do get discouraged, you can go back. I play a game with my staff. And the game I play is I give everybody a Post-it notepad and I tell them to look around the room. There's 20 or 30 or 40 people in the room, and I tell them to write a note about somebody, give somebody a compliment or say something positive about someone else in the room. And they'll write out 3 or 4 of them, and then an hour and a half later, we'll take another break and they'll write 3 or 4 out, more of them, and hand them out and hand them out and hand them out until people, for me personally, I have 30 or 40 positive comments from everybody in the room about me. I stick them on a piece of paper and I post it up in front of my desk. And when I'm not having a good day, I'll look at that list. And I see notes to myself that said, Terry, thank you for believing in me when nobody else did. Terry, thanks for giving me a break and the opportunity here at Orange Theory Fitness. Terry, thanks for your leadership and your vision and what you do for us here at Orange Theory Fitness. Terry, thanks for being my friend. Man, when I start getting down and I start reading things like that, I go, man, that's pretty cool. People still out there, and I start feeling better about myself, right? It helps me get out of my discouragement. And finally, number 10 is remind yourself about why you got started in the first place. So, I'll use fitness as an example. A lot of us get discouraged with our fitness, right? And we get started, we have high hopes, and we get started and we quit. Or we have a diet and we start and we quit. But one of the best ways to stay motivated and to get encouraged versus discouraged is to remind yourself why you started in the first place. I love to tell that story of Orange Theory Fitness because it brings me back to my roots about why I got started and where I was at in my life at the time, 13 years ago, in terms of getting a new brand in the industry off the ground. But you have that for your own life. If you're getting discouraged with your relationships, think back to the day that you got married. Think back to the day that you fell in love with your spouse. If you're discouraged with your finances, think back to a situation where you were in a good financial position. And what were you doing then that you're not doing now? And how can you start today? And it may not be a lot, but it could be $100 a month. It could be $50 a month of starting to put into savings or starting to invest or starting to pay off a credit card. I'm just telling you, remind yourself of why you got started in the first place. There's 10 ideas about what to do when you get discouraged, but guess what? I got a bonus one for you. This is a good one. And I should be banging some music out here for you this morning because I always listen to good music when I do my workouts. But the bonus one is listen to some uplifting song or listen to some uplifting music. I can't tell you how many times, I know this probably happens for you, you hear a song and it reminds you of a situation. You hear a song and it reminds you when you were there. You hear a song and it reminds you of a friend. You hear a song and it reminds you of the good times. It reminds you of different situations in your life. But really, get some music. Music is a powerful, powerful tool. And get some music, get an uplifting song, get some good music that inspires you. It gets you moving. Motion creates emotion, and emotion can improve your feelings about yourself, your self-esteem, and help you feel better about yourself. You just spend 15 minutes learning ideas and ways to feel better about yourself, to help you out and encourage you when you get discouraged. Don't forget, my name's Terry, and I'm your friend.